welcome back. I'm Nina,
And I'm Andrea.
and this week it's the week of love. It's Valentine's Day week, and we are talking
Cupid's arrow.
yeah.
Shoot me with it. Let's go.
We're gonna be talking about love gone wrong. Very wrong.
Some spicy stories, some sweet stories. But
Um,
I think this week is going to be really cool because we did not we talked about what each other was going to research, but we did not tell each other our notes.
yes, we
So
didn't share notes, so we have no idea
it's going to
exactly
be
what the
really
other
fun.
one's gonna say. Yeah.
And we get to chime in on each other's stories.
Yeah.
I will say one thing about Valentine's Day that I do not like is when you're forced in school to make every single person in your class a fucking
For
Valentine's
real.
Day
Do they
card.
still do that? Because that would piss me off every year. Because I would be like,
I don't know.
there would always be someone in my class that I just could not stand, even when I was like 5 or 6 years old. And I'm like, I don't want to give them a Valentine.
What made me feel bad was that it went in like classes. It went like there was people that made Valentine's Day baggies where you got a little Valentine's Day card and a sucker and a candy, and it was wrapped with like a little bow on it. And then
Mm-hmm.
there was like people that you just got a Valentine's Day card and like one piece of candy. And then there was people that you just got like a card.
Yeah. Some people really didn't get into it much. I was one of those people.
But like I would always be like, Mom, tomorrow I have to bring all this to my class. And she'd be like, oh my gosh, we have to go to the store and get blah 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 blah. And she would like do it all for me and like write their names. Like I hated doing that.
Oh, me too.
And when I thought about doing this week's episode, that's like one thing that triggered me. I was like, oh, I'm so glad I'm not in school anymore.
I
But it was kind of
actually,
cool when you were in high school
wait,
because
what?
they had like the flowers and stuff. Like when you were in high school, it was a little cooler because you weren't forced to get everyone a Valentine's, but like you could get your like friends a rose. Like they
Oh,
would
yeah,
sell
like the
like $2
carnations.
roses. Yeah. So that
Yeah.
was like sweeter. I like
Yeah.
that more. Yeah.
Yeah, and you could pick and you could send them anonymously. It was a little bit more fun.
Or put a note. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I think
like
I
that.
got one.
Instead of being forced.
Yeah.
Me too. And I
I don't even
I
know
think
who it
I
was
got
from.
some for my friends too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought some for my friend.
Anonymous.
Yeah.
Hopefully it wasn't laced with something.
Oh, speaking of your story,
Yeah.
let's go.
So
I want to hear this.
let's do the damn thing.
Let's do the damn
Hold on,
thing.
I need to take a sip of my old fashioned because we're going back in time, baby.
Oh, yes.
So this week I'm doing the chocolate candy murders.
Oh, sweet but
Ooh.
deadly.
It's one of the most infamous murders in Dover, Delaware's history. And it took place in 1898, aka old fashioned. We're going back. The weapon, a box of chocolate bonbons laced with arsenic.
Ooh.
Go fucking figure. What are bonbons?
I
I
don't
had to
know.
Google it.
I was gonna ask you. I've heard of them, but I don't know exactly what they are.
So if you're like Nina and you don't know what, oh, and me, I guess, because I had to Google it, and you don't know
Exactly.
what and you don't know what bonbons are. It's a small chocolate like ball, you know. They're usually filled with like sweet alcoholic ingredients and wrapped in like
Oh,
colored foil.
alcohol?
Say yeah, say less. I'm drinking right now. So maybe like this research because I haven't drank and
In
you
like
know
two
why.
weeks. Yeah.
Or yeah, in like 2 weeks, but like I don't know. Okay, the universe is connected. Throw that in. I'm saying that every day for the rest of my life because shit's been weird recently. I don't know if it's the podcast or this cute little heart charm thing my bestie Tasia made for me. I don't know what's going on, but I love it. Anyways, back to my notes about this episode. The weapon was a box of chocolate bonbons covered with arsenic. The
Yes.
suspect, a lover, taking revenge on a man with whom she had a love affair with.
Wait, so was
It's
she
the
the other
most
woman?
she was.
Ah,
We'll get into that later, but she was.
okay.
It's the most romantic murder of the century.
Nice. Romance and murder.
Love it. It's what we
Yes.
live for, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
We're fucked up. Anyways,
We are.
February 1891, John P. Dunning married Mary Pennington. And Mary Pennington was the daughter of former Congressman John Pennington. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Dover, Delaware, that city has been the seat of state government since 1777. So it's pretty well known for dating back to, one of the first governments.
Yeah, I'm not good at history, so I did
Me
not know
either, but
that.
that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Another sip of the old fashioned, because that's even older. But, anyways, after they got married, a year later, they had a daughter, and then they moved to San Francisco.
They moved from
One day,
Delaware to San Francisco.
yes,
Okay. Just trying to
I'm pretty
follow.
sure. I don't know. I didn't research that. If someone else has facts, it says Golden Gate Park, which I could go to fucking Google right now and type in Golden Gate Park and see if it's in San Francisco, but it sounds like it should be,
Yeah.
Golden Gate Bridge, Golden Gate Park. Yeah, it
San
says,
Francisco.
yeah. So we're Gucci. All right. Anyways, a year later, the married couple had a daughter and they moved near Golden Gate Park, which is in San Francisco. One day, while in the park, Dunning met, I could say this name earlier, Cordelia, Cordelia,
Yeah.
Cordelia.
Cordelia.
Okay. One day while in the park, Dunning met Cordelia Botkin, and the two began
What?
flirting.
Botkin?
Yeah, Botkin. Botkin. So they met at the park and they began flirting, which, ultimately led to an affair.
Yeah, because it always does when you meet someone at the park.
Always.
Yeah.
And you start flirting.
Mhm.
You're gonna get, well, they don't have numbers. You're gonna figure out ways to see each other
Oh, yeah. You're going to write letters.
by pigeon. Anyways. So they began having an affair. Cordelia.
You just put like an R, a random R in there. Cordelia.
I sound like our mothers. Our moms would do that. Your mom would do that, and my mom would do that.
Yeah.
We'd be like, no, her name's Cordelia. And they'd be like, oh, Cordelia. I already knew it was going to be butchered, but I just didn't know how bad.
Oh, okay.
All right, I got lost in my sauce. All right. So, while his wife was in San Francisco, Dunning and Bodkin continued the affair. So he gave no fucks that his wife was there. He still had his mistress.
I feel like everybody back then had a mistress.
I feel like that too.
Yeah. I don't know why, but
you know what? One day, his wife, Mary, she had enough. And she said, I'm taking my baby to my father's house and we're going to Dover. Me and my baby are going back to Dover. Because she knew. Like she had,
good
she
for
had a
her.
suspicion.
Yeah, good for her.
Yeah. All right. So Mary's like gone with the baby. And her husband accepted a position as a war correspondent with the Associated Press in March of 1898. And when he accepted this position, he told Cordelia he would never return back to San Francisco.
So is this
So basically,
position, did he go back to Dover too?
well, we'll figure that out later, but right now he is going to be a part of like the war. So he's
Oh,
basically
okay.
telling her like I'm either going to die
Mm-hmm.
or I'm just never going to come back here because my wife is in Dover and you're my fucking mistress.
Okay. So he's
So
basically
Cordelia is
like,
obviously like heartbroken
mm-hmm.
because she's in love with this guy and she's like, well, your wife moved, we're together still.
Yeah. And
You're accepting this
he basically just
war
told her like
correspondent
it's
with the
over.
Associated Press in a way. So regardless of that, Boykin still went to watch him be departed. So She wept as he parted across the bay to go be a correspondent for the Associated Press.
You know?
And that makes me really sad. I sound like I'm crying.
No, you just like you're telling this story and you're drinking, and I can tell you're a little bit tipsy. And you're have you ever seen the show Drunk History?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like you're telling the story on Drunk History because it's like an old story and you're a little tipsy and I can tell. I love
Well,
it.
maybe we should call this one Drunk History.
We should. Drunk History, Drunk
But
Love
you're not drunk.
History. No, I wish I was.
Drunken Love History.
Yeah. Continue.
All right, anyways. So later that year, during the summer on August 9th, 1898, a small package arrived in Dover via the U.S. Postal Service. And it was addressed to Miss John P. Dunning.
Ooh.
But after supper, which I think it's funny, they call it supper.
That's what we used to call it too.
Yeah.
Actually, I still call it
A
that.
lot of people, like, I don't know where our listeners are from, but it's breakfast, dinner, supper.
Or if it's like your mom and my mom, they say like breakfast. I don't even know. Like they pronounce breakfast so weird.
Yeah, but in other places they say breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Yeah.
But supper is dinner.
Maybe it's a southern thing.
But dinner is lunch. Figure that one out.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyways, after supper, Miss Dunning opened the fancy candy box, which contained a handkerchief, chocolate creams, and a very small slip of paper, which said, "With love to yourself and baby, Miss C."
So, did she know that it was from his mistress?
No.
So she had no idea who Mrs. C is.
No, of course, Mary didn't know who sent this, but she had lots of friends in San Francisco. So she used to live there, so she's probably just assuming that someone was sending her a package.
Yeah.
But 6 people ate out of the candy box.
6?
6 people. Yeah, 6. But
Dang.
Mary's sister, Mary's sister, Ida Dean, died 2 days later.
Wait, so was she the only one that died 2 days later? Did everybody else die instantly? Or did everybody else even die?
No, Mary followed her sister in death a day later on August 12th.
Oh.
When the former congressman, Mary's father, the former congressman, he examined the writing on the box and the note that came in
Wait,
the candy box.
wait, are you gonna talk about so like I'm confused. You said like the sister died and she died, but 6 people ate out of it. Did they all die?
No, it was Russian roulette chocolate.
Oh, okay.
So only certain ones had the arsenic in it. And I think it was two.
Just two of
I
them?
think it was one I think it was one for Mary and one for John.
Oh, but
Because
then
I think the mistress thought that, oh, I'm gonna send this to Dover and my ex lover and his wife is gonna get this and they're gonna share it thinking it's from a friend in San Francisco.
yeah. And then
So I
it
think
ended
she
up,
only laced 2 of them.
yeah, and
It
it just
never really said when I researched, but
yeah, and it just ended up being her sister and her that luck of the draw.
yeah, ended up dying. But her father ended up looking at the writing on the candy box and the writing on the note inside of the candy box, and he realized he had seen that writing before.
He had seen the mistress's handwriting before.
Yeah, you want to know how?
Yes.
It was the same handwriting that was on an anonymous letter that Mary had received from San Francisco many months prior. And you know what that letter was stating?
That it was from this dude's mistress or her husband's mistress.
Basically,
Yeah.
that there was an affair going on.
Oh. Man, this bitch just could
So
not let this go.
she couldn't let it go, but I'm also like, Mary, connect the fucking dots.
Right. Like you're
You
obviously.
received an anonymous letter
Hmm.
from San Francisco stating your husband's having a fucking affair. And then months later, you receive a random box of chocolates from San Francisco. And you're like, oh, it must be from a friend. I'm like, dumb bitch alert. Mary, come on, RIP. But like,
Oh my goodness, you're horrible. But no, no, I
But
feel
like,
you.
come on. Like,
Yeah, I
you
feel
got a
you.
letter stating your husband had an affair, and then months later you get a random box of chocolate and you don't know who it's from. But
Yeah,
I guess times were different back then. Your homegirl couldn't be like, I'm gonna text you and let you know that I'm sending you a box of chocolate.
yeah. But I still feel like your friend would want you to know for sure which friend it was from so that they could feel like all good about themselves for sending you a
Instead of
box of
writing like
chocolates.
Miss C.
Yeah, I feel like they would want you to know for sure. Like they'd put their whole name.
But I'm gonna get into that.
Okay.
So the father figures out that the writing is from the note that Mary got sent months back. And so Mary's husband also returned to Dover from the war, and he immediately recognized Cordelia Botkin's handwriting. And he also remembered telling Cordelia that his wife had a love for candy and his wife had a lot of love for her friend named Miss Corbally with a C that also
Corbally?
lived Corbally, Corbaly.
Some weird names back then.
But Miss Corbally also lived in San Francisco.
So she just assumed it was from her. Makes sense. Makes
Yes.
sense.
But Botkins was ultimately arrested for both murders, and her trial was covered on front page news back then. So it was pretty
Ooh,
fucking big.
yeah. It had to be big back then to make the front page. Whew.
Exactly. So it was that's why I stated it's the most infamous murder
Hmm.
from Dover, Delaware. But December 30th, 1898, Botkin was found guilty. And on February 4th, 1899, she was sentenced to life in prison.
Oh, good.
Yeah, you think, right?
Wait, does she get out?
No. So the Supreme Court required Botkin to be retried years later, and she was found guilty again on August 2nd, 1904.
So the Supreme Court will hear this story, but they refuse to hear the Martinsville 7 story.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, just saying. Good job,
Just
US
did an
Supreme
episode
Court.
on that.
Yeah.
And it was due to evidence. Something they gave no fucks about in the Martinsville 7, apparently.
Yeah. I don't know that just makes me so mad, but that just goes to show you the crap that they care
Yeah.
about.
Anyways, the universe is connected in all ways.
Hmm.
But Botkin ended up dying in prison at the age of 57 on March 7th, 1910.
Good.
And the death certificate stated she died due to softening of the brain due to melancholy.
Wait, what?
The death certificate stated she
No,
died
I heard
due.
you, but
I
melancholy?
know.
Is that just
I
like she died
know.
from sadness?
Yeah, it can kill you, bitch.
Okay.
I love you.
I love you too.
But you've never heard of like the broken heart syndrome?
Well, yeah, but that's like your heart, not your brain. Or is that
Well,
how
I
it gets you?
guess I guess that is how it gets you. I guess it starts in the heart and the brain. They always say listen to your brain over your heart, and maybe that's the reason. Because if you
Maybe.
let the melancholy start in your head, it'll end up in your heart and then you're done.
Damn. So she died from sadness. I wonder if she was sad because she was in prison or if she was sad because
I
she
want to believe
never,
it's because she never got to be with her true lover.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's,
Or she
yeah.
didn't get to kill his ass.
Could go one of three ways.
But if you're ever in Dover, Delaware, there's a lady who is related, I believe, to Mary. And she does a walking tour and it's dedicated to telling the story of the murders. And it's in Fort State Heritage Park.
That's pretty cool. If I'm ever in Delaware, I'm totally gonna do that.
But yeah, that's my story on the chocolate box candy murders. So watch out for your chocolate box candies. If you've pissed off your boy, if you've made your girl mad, you might want to test your chocolate box
Yes, they may murder you with arsenic.
and then die of melancholy because they really did love you.
Yeah.
So
So lots of
karma's a
death.
bitch.
Yeah. That was a pretty good story.
Thank you. I hope it didn't come off as me being fucking wasted off old fashioned.
Well, it's called Crimes and Spirits, so you're in the right place.
I am, and that was a murder, multiple.
Exactly.
And it didn't happen on Valentine's Day, but some of the things happened in February. So, and it's a candy box of chocolate with arsenic. So, kind of fits.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Same with yours. Like, let's talk about this spicy story that I love because this girl's a badass.
Yeah, so I love the 90s. Growing up in the 90s was so much fun.
It was.
It was
I miss
honest.
it.
I do too. It was the
Shout
best.
out to, I know last episode, if you listen, I said 1992. But honestly, shout out to all 90s babies because you all know.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't matter what year, you know.
You know, the 90s was the best decade. So while growing up in the 90s, as you probably also, Andrea, remember hearing about a story that made headlines everywhere, a love story gone wrong. This also happened in our good old home state of Virginia.
Woo! Woo!
Ooh. Oh, sorry.
Real quick, before you start, you know
Yeah.
what?
What?
Every time I'm coming from Atlanta to Virginia, you know what I see?
What?
I see a sign on the
Welcome to
road and it
Virginia.
says, Virginia is for lovers.
Oh yeah, Virginia's for lovers,
So it's a love story meant to be. Tell it, baby.
or not meant to be, because this love story is about Lorena Bobbitt cutting off her husband's penis while he slept. I'm sure everybody remembers that, and if you do not remember that, then keep listening. You're in for a treat.
Ah, I can't wait to get into this one. Oh, I love it.
Okay, so what Lorena did, most people might think is a little insane, but here is why she did what she did.
Yeah, listen up,
So Lorena said that her husband, John Bobbitt, had abused,
asshole.
yes, had abused her for years. He verbally abused her, physically abused her, repeatedly raped her. He even forced her to have an abortion. Like, I seriously would have cut this guy's penis off too.
Asshole.
You said that.
Oh, I know. I'm just letting people know that he's a fucking asshole. I'm gonna keep saying it.
Yes. So, this crazy event happened on the night of June 23rd, 1993, when John came home and raped Lorena. Lorena was very upset after all the years of abuse. She ventured into the kitchen to get a glass of water. When she was pouring the water from the refrigerator into her glass, the only light that was on in the kitchen was the light from the refrigerator, and she saw a knife in the light. And Lorena said she doesn't really remember what happened.
I know what happened. The universe spoke to her.
Yes.
It-
Lorena said she really didn't remember what happened next, but she took the knife and proceeded to cut her husband's penis off while he was sleeping.
What a way to wake up.
Right?
Pure pain, blood, and horror.
Like, I can't even imagine the pain. Like,
If
and
you're a man,
mm,
if you're a man, that's your livelihood. Whew, ballsy. I don't know what came over her. Maybe it was the devil. I don't know if it was the universe. The universe is love and light. So that might be the devil's work. I don't know. But he's the
I
devil.
don't, yeah, I know. I was about to
It
say
might be the universe's work.
he
I
is
don't
the devil.
know.
Um,
But continue, please. I love this story.
so she left the house, got into her car to drive to the nail salon where she worked, and she often went there after John abused her. Sometimes she would sleep in her car there because I don't think she had a key to get in. And
Oh, it's
in
her
New
little
York,
getaway.
yeah, it was where she went like many times. So that's where she headed that night.
After she cut the penis off, right?
Yes, yes. And get this. I really think she was kind of in a state of like,
I
when you,
hope you're about to say, I hope you're about to say my favorite part of this whole story.
what's your favorite part?
She throws it out the fucking window.
Yes. So this is my favorite part too.
I love it. I'm like, savage ass bitch. Not only did you fucking cut it off after he raped you and beat you and mentally abused you, you fucking said, fuck this motherfucker. I'm throwing this out in the field.
Yes. So
Oh, I love it.
I think she was in like a state of like she didn't really know what she was doing because she gets in the car and she's driving, right? So she kind of like looks down while she's driving and she realizes she has his penis still in her hand.
Oh, she was in shock.
Yeah. And
I
so
think something, okay, I think like, because he raped her that night, right?
yes.
I think something came over her where she like had a breaking point. Like, when you bottle shit up and you just explode.
Oh yeah.
I think that happened to her with her trauma from him. And when she drove away, she was probably in so much shock and just like, what the fuck? She forgot about the dick.
Yeah. So it was literally in her hand. So she's driving and she tosses it out the window. And in a New York Times article, when asked why she threw his penis out the window, she said, I tried to drive the car, obviously, but I had this thing in my hand, so I couldn't drive. So I got rid of it.
Badass bitch right there. She's like,
Yes.
I have to drive. I can't hold on to his cut off dick any longer. I'm throwing it out the fucking window. Oh, I wish I could have seen that. I wish someone could have recorded her just like rolling down her window and like tossing a dick out.
Yeah.
Like a
Too
real
bad.
life,
Too
not a
bad not.
dildo.
Yeah. Too bad not everybody had cell phones back then.
God, that would have went viral.
For sure. Okay, so after the police caught up with Lorena, about 4:30 that morning, she told police where to find the missing appendage. And after a nearly 10-hour surgery, it was successfully reattached. I don't know how these police found his penis in a field, but can you imagine the police officers going and looking for that thing, especially if they were male police officers?
I can only imagine the
Ugh.
fucking jokes. The jokes.
Yes, for sure.
What are you doing today, Bob? I'm going to look for a cut off dick in the field. How about you? Well, I'm
Sounds like
going to a
fun.
fucking drug raid. I'm going to a drug raid. You have fun looking for that dick. I love it.
Okay.
Anyways, they found the dick, they reattached it, but does it work?
Yes, actually, and we'll get to that. Apparently it worked really well.
I thought it didn't work no more. I thought he didn't have a dick. I don't like this story anymore. I didn't do research on it. Fuck. I'm gonna have to tell Tasia.
Oh wait, so you
His
didn't
dick
know?
do work.
So
No,
you
me
don't
and her both were like,
oh, oh, you're
yo,
in for
her.
a
She cut
treat,
it
honey.
off. Tasia, if you're listening this week, get ready.
So John, a former US Marine, of course, denied all these claims of abuse and rape, saying that Lorena, who weighed less than 100 pounds in 1993, was the abuser, not him. Seriously, come on, dude.
How tall was she? Do you know?
I don't know, but she looked really tiny.
Hold on. Let's see.
You Googling it?
How do you? Yeah, Lorena. How do you spell her last name? Oh, here
B
it is.
O. Okay, you
Don't
found
even.
it.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah. You know, bop it. Get it?
Bop it,
The
like the
first
big
episode.
bopper. Yep.
What the fuck? Why won't it? I type in Lorena Bobbitt height and it says net worth. No, I want her height.
That's not even remotely the same thing.
She's 5'2". Yeah, she's tiny as fuck. Fuck
Five
that
two,
motherfucker.
5'2", less than 100 pounds. Like he was a former U.S. Marine. I'm sure if she hit him, he could defend himself. Like, come on.
Yeah, if she hit him, it probably felt like, when like a 3-year-old gets mad and is like,
And
"No,
hits you.
mom."
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So John was charged with marital sexual assault, but was freaking acquitted, which is such bullshit because John has since been accused of abuse by several other women, in which he actually ended up serving a little over 15 months in jail.
Wow, what a
Yeah.
piece of shit.
And get this, he also claimed that he didn't abuse them, that they also abused him. The dude is
So
pathetic.
every fucking woman
Yeah.
abuses him.
Yeah. And he does nothing, of course. Andrea.
This is more spicy than I thought.
Oh, yeah, it's about to get even better. Here's your treat that I was talking about. So, I can't believe you didn't know this. Okay, so John went on to become a porn star. Okay, so not only does his penis apparently work, but it worked well enough to star in porn films. I don't know what you call it. Pornos, yes. Let's go with that.
I just want to say shout out to the surgeons that could reconstruct a cut off dick to make it porn video worthy.
Right.
That's fucking talent.
So you want to hear the names of his films? Because the
Please
names are
give
quite
me give me
hilarious.
some names.
All
Give me
right.
some names.
So one is called Frankenpenis. Can't make this up.
Oh my god. Like
Frankenpenis.
freaking weenie. You should have called it freaking weenie, you
That would have
dumbass.
been better. That would have been better. But then that also would have
Freaking
ruined
freaking weenie.
Tim Burton's version. Frankenweenie.
Freaking weenie part XXX.
Yeah, freaking weenie XXX.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and he has another one called John Wayne Bobbitt Uncut. Ah, hilarious. Uncut.
LOL. Extra cut,
Yeah.
bitch. The fuck you mean uncut? Get out of here with that.
Ah, so funny.
But Lorena Bobbitt's a badass bitch right now. Did
Oh
you do
yeah,
research on her?
I did. So Lorena, she was also tried for what she did to John and was found not guilty by reason of temporary insanity.
Insanity.
Yeah. They even
What'd
made
she
her.
do? Spend a couple fucking months in the grippy socks?
I love how you worded that. But yes, she actually was ordered to stay in like a
I
mental
know
institution.
that wasn't me. I don't know who just came out, but that was not
um, Andrea drinking an old fashioned. That's who just came out.
mixed with a Red Bull,
Oh gosh.
a big boy Red Bull. I had a tall boy Red Bull today at
Oh,
work,
I love
so
Red Bull.
I do too. God, have you had the peach flavor?
Yeah, it's the only one I really like.
My mom gave me that the other day. Like, I asked her to pick me up a Red Bull, and she did, and it was peach. But then my coworker gave me a strawberry. Is it apricot or apricot?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't tried that one. I love the peach one. That's
But
usually the
how do
only
you
one I
say
get.
it? How do you say it? Do you
Apricot?
say
I
apricot?
say apricot.
I say apricot.
I don't know.
Maybe I say apricot. Whatever. That one's good too. Apparently the fig apple's good. My favorite is the dragon fruit though. But peach is up there.
Oh, I wonder if Drew would like dragon fruit. He likes dragon
It's
fruit.
really good. It's really good. But anyways,
Yeah. Anyways,
back to
back to
badass.
Lorraine. Yes.
Yeah.
So, anyways, temporary, She was found.
You dumbass. I thought I sounded trash. Oh, you're sober.
I
You're
know,
like,
that's the sad part. So at least she didn't have to spend the rest of her life in jail, or like I think she was facing up to like 20 years, but I'm glad
but
like
how long did she stay in the grippy socks?
I don't know.
She
It
had to go
wasn't
to like
long.
mental evaluation
Yeah.
for insanity. But like, I think they believed her.
Hmm. So today, Lorena is an advocate for domestic abuse survivors, and she founded the Lorena. I'm not sure if I'm saying her last name right, but it's like Gay Gallo,
How do you spell
Gall.
it? Wait, Gallo. Gallo.
Gallo. Okay. So today, Lorena is an advocate for domestic abuse survivors, and she founded the Lorena
Gallo.
Gallo Foundation, whose mission is to expand domestic violence and sexual assault prevention, education, emergency response resources, and community engagement activities that will improve outcomes for survivors and their children, which I think is very cool.
Yeah, that's really sweet.
And she also still resides in Manassas, Virginia today. So the same town.
Where is that from you?
It's closer to Washington, D.C., so it's like really far. It's
Oh,
like five
yeah,
hours
yeah.
from here. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. All right. Another fun fact that I thought I would share while I was researching this, there was obviously huge media coverage on this back in the day. Crowds used to gather outside of these big trials. I mean, they still do today when there's something crazy happening.
Yeah.
So outside
Like
of
the
the,
Johnny Depp Amber Heard.
yes, that was crazy. That also took place in Virginia. Like, I mean, not the crimes, but I guess the
What?
trial.
Where?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
it was I feel like
Where?
I don't remember exactly, but it was like maybe it was closer to Roanoke, but it wasn't in Roanoke. Um, but yeah, they held it in Virginia. I was like, man, if I was still living in like Blacksburg, I would drive there and go to the court.
Dude, can't believe she pooped in his bed.
Me
Who
either.
does
What
that?
crazy. So outside of the courthouse, there were people selling penis-shaped candy and t-shirts that said "Love Hurts."
Wow, very fitting. I love it.
Yeah. I seriously wish that I wasn't 2 years old and I could have been like outside of that courtroom. All right, so that's the story of Lorena Bobbitt and how and why she cut her husband's penis off.
I love it, but I also am slightly disappointed that they fixed his dick well enough to be a
Right?
permanent
I
stone.
wouldn't have
Like
told the
the
cops where to
fuck?
find it.
Hell no. I would have been like, I don't know. I was in shock. I don't know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
A dog ate it. Garbage disposal.
Garbage disposal.
Gross. Imagine the
Oh yeah,
smell
you're right. I wouldn't want to
of
clean that.
like you're right. I just wouldn't have told the cops where the fuck the dick was.
Yeah.
But anyways, this is my first episode drinking. I hope you guys liked it.
More to
I
come,
don't
more
know
to
if I
come.
did.
So, to wrap up this show, I found this weird fact of how people celebrated Valentine's Day back in the Victoria era. So apparently, to insult or reject unwanted admirers, they would send something called vinegar valentines, which were like cards soaked in vinegar.
Weird.
I
Like
thought,
pickles.
yeah, I thought it was funny. Also, since like your story was kind of older, I thought it like kind of went
Yeah,
with, yeah.
it fits. But all you sweethearts out there, I hope you enjoyed our sweet but spicy Valentine's Day episode.
Yes, sweet but deadly.
Check your candy, hug your lovers.
Oh, check your candy. That makes me think of Trick or Treat, which is one of my favorite Halloween movies. Oh, it's
Oh,
Halloween.
but you know what? Halloween's 8 months away, baby. Let's go.
Oh, I know. I'm like literally counting it down. I'm so excited.
I know, me too. We're every month. I'm like 1 month closer.
Every holiday that passes, like Valentine's Day, then we got St. Patrick's Day and Easter. Every
Yep,
holiday that
Cinco
goes
de
by, yeah,
Mayo.
we get closer to Halloween.
Yeah, and Stay tuned. What's episode 4? A
Episode
cult?
4.
We're doing a cult, right?
Yep. Episode 4 is going to be a cult. But yeah, so thanks for joining us for episode 3. And all you lovers out there, keep it spooky. Until next time.